In this video, we're going to go over how to make a new Google Business profile. Now, Google My Business is the same thing as the Google Business Profile. And you might hear people call it Google My Business or Google Business Profile or GBP, but it's the same thing. So what you can do is you can navigate right to it by going business.google.com or just do a Google search. Google Business Profile. So you're going to see here Google Business Profile, and you want to create an account. So get started with Google Business Profile. And any of the links will get you into the same place. So add or claim your business. So we'll sign in because you do have to have a Google account for this. Now, depending on how you set up your Google account, it might ask you for two-step verification. So you can follow along and do your two-step verification if it applies to you. So what you're going to do now is see if you have a listing that exists already. Now, obviously, if you're a brand new business, you don't, but sometimes someone has claimed a listing that might be similar to yours, so you want to make sure. Let's go ahead and make up one. We have something called Learn the Process, which is our training portal, but let's just try this. Make it up. Learn the Process, New Jersey. I'm going to make that up. That doesn't exist. So you can see here, create a business with that name. Now, if you had a business here, though, let's just say this is us, Process Fitness. It's going to say, uh-oh, someone already manages this for us, request access. So obviously that's a situation you shouldn't be in because you do have to verify a listing. So you can request access, but that's really an unusual situation because you don't need to manage a profile that's not yours. So let's use Learn the Process since that we know Learn the Process. There's no business on here with that, Learn the Process. And so, you don't have to do, let's say, LLC or LP. You can, it depends on what your preference is. You can certainly be, Learn the Process, whatever it happens to be. If it's an Inc., no one's really doing that. Certainly some, doctors and physicians will do, such and such doctor, so-and-so, PA or whatever, or PC, DMD, PC. You can, but really what you want to do here is what's the official name of the business. So if you are, for example, let's say you're a dentist like I am, and you're Dr. David Wank, see, there I am. But that's not really what the business is. If the business is, David W's Dental Practice, if that's the official name of the business, that's what you would use. And there are ways around that. If you decide that you really want to be something else on Google My Business, you can create a DBA, which is a little bit beyond the scope of this, but certainly if you have a DBA, Google will accept that. But the bottom line is, if you're David, if we have two locations, David W's Dental Office, and we have a New York location, and then you have David W's Dental Office, Brooklyn, Google may get upset and suspend the profile. So let's go back to our Learn the Process and create a business. Now, the category. The category is probably the most important thing that you can pick. It's the number one ranking factor in terms of matching you up. So Learn the Process. Let's make it a dentist because this is easier. Let's do this as Dr. David Wank, Family Dental Care. Now, this is where I work, but let's just ignore that. New business. Now, let's add a category. There's a bunch of different categories you can pick from. You can always change this later. For me, I'm going to do dentist. Now, you can see there's a bunch of different, what do I pick? There's a bunch of different options that you have there. And that's something that, when we do our local SEO programs, we look to see, and we teach people, look to see what your competitors are using for their profile, for their business category, because that's what matters the most. So anyway, let's just come to dentist for now. I just want to get this done for us, right? I want to get going here with the profile. Do you want to add a location that customers can visit? Yes, you're going to want to do that. And then enter your business address. So let's add an address. Now it's going to get upset because we already have a business at my address. So let's just do Suite 2. Make that up. And there we go. So now, is this your business? Nope, it's none of these. It's something new. They're not sure. Do you provide deliveries or home and office visits? I do not deliver. I do not deliver to customers. What details do you want to show? So we can, whatever your phone number is, and you can add your website. You should add your website, obviously. The more information you give them, the better. And now it's going to ask you, oh, it's funny, it verified me. But usually what's going to happen is now it's going to tell you that it's going to have you do your business hours. So let's just say we're only open on Monday from 8 to 5 p.m. And what you do want to make sure here is that, on your website, these hours match, because that will help for local search. Then they're going to get, so you want to add a business description. We are a family dental practice that starts with this and that. And we, like to say that we're open late because we know people work and we do have Saturday hours. And we're really there to, high-end quality dental care, et cetera, et cetera. And we specialize in dental implants and Invisalign. Whatever you want to make it, it's fine. So now you can add some photos. We'll skip that. So the photos that you want to do, you can hit the example. Good photos are photos of you want to have a photo of the outside of your business. Google used to break it up. They used to want you to have outside photos, then inside photos, and then photos of like the people at work. Obviously, if you are a retail business, that's easy. If you are a healthcare provider, it's a little more difficult because of HIPAA. But I would say a photo of the outside of your office, maybe a couple of angles, especially if your office is hard to find where, you have to, even though the address is on this street, the entrance is on that street. So I would have photos of that. Then you can have photos of your waiting area or where people wait, or photos of the store. So if you're a dental or medical office, you might want to have a photograph of the front desk, of the waiting area, of one of the treatment rooms or the operatories, but empty, or just with the doctor in it or one of the doctors in it. Without a patient in there, you don't want to do that with the patient on there. That's a HIPAA violation. And just make sure that when you're doing that, if you do an exam room or some kind of surgical suite or whatever, that you are not showing, actual instruments out there or something like that, because you just don't want to scare people. As a dentist, I think seeing things like that is pretty interesting, but most people do not want to see the instruments that we as dentists and doctors and surgeons and whatnot use on a daily basis. So people don't want to see that. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to skip that. We're not going to do that here. Your edits will be visible once you're verified. You click continue, and there you go. So now we have a business. So they are going to send me an email. They're going to want to send me a card to verify me, to make sure that this is a verified listing. Now, they might have verified me in advance just because, just because I have, already registered our address as something else. So they might be happy already with that because we do have short list design at this address. So in any case, but they're probably going to want to send you a card, and they're going to say, your listing is pending, but please go ahead and make this. They're going to say your listing is pending. You can make some changes, but nothing is going to be official till we verify you. They're going to send you a card, or they're going to give you an option to send you a card. You'll get that postcard, and then they'll give you instructions on the card that says, navigate to your profile, and it's going to say, what are the numbers on the card? That way we verify it. We don't want to have it where you have a listing that you create. If I go ahead and create a listing for your business and I take it over, that's not cool. So what they want to do is make sure that if you are, Dr. David Wank Family Dental Care, that you are who you say you are. And what they do is they send a card to the address. Then someone at that address has to go in there, log into the account, you usually, and then go ahead and verify that you are who you are. So that's how you set up a Google Business Profile account. There's all sorts of other things you can fill in here. Feel free to go through these, fill it out as much as humanly possible. You see here that my profile strength is not completed. You want to have as high a profile strength as possible. Obviously, for our local SEO customers, we're filling it out for you or with you because there are certain things that you do want to do. But that is the basics of creating a Google Business Profile. Now, if you want to add someone to help you out with it, you can come over here and say Business Profile Settings, and then People and Access, and then you can add people who can help you manage it. You want to do manager. Be very careful about making somebody else an owner, but you always want to do a manager. If you're selling your business and you want to make someone else an owner, sure, but you just want to make anybody else a manager because they can help you with it. But if you decide not to work with that person later on, you can easily get rid of them from the profile. So this way you maintain control all the time. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like.